व्याप्तमेन चराचरम् तत्पदं पूजितं च तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. Paying my highest respects to my Guru and everyone else who has played a role in teaching me, I start today's discussions. And today's discussions I start with a question which is very often asked. And that question is, what came first, hen or egg? And this question you are not hearing for the first time. You must have heard it several times. And all logic fails here. If you think that egg came first, then how egg came without a hen? And when you think hen came first, then logic prevails. How hen came without egg? And you can apply any amount of logic and you don't find the answer to this question. And let us understand why. Because there is no first and no last. The creation is Sanatan. Sanatan is a word used in the Sanskrit language, and today some people started calling it Sanatana religion. But Sanatan was not a religion. Sanatan was a way of living, a way of understanding things. And the meaning of Sanatan is a concept which has never started and a concept which will never end. So the creation is Sanatan. That means creation has not started and it will not end. In my lifetime, I'm just 58 years, I think, very small lifespan. And in this life, there has been 2 times when I heard that creation is going to stop. And all those who are of my age, a little less, a little more, in year 1998, there was a big saying, nothing will work after the year 2000. Okay, so what will happen in 2000? All the water of the earth will evaporate. And creation will come to an end. No computer on this earth will work. Okay, and so on and so on and so on and so on. The meaning of everything what was being said from 97 to almost close when 2000 started, that we are ending the creation and it's the end of life. Look, we do not know how things were created. It is just that we are making a guess that how things were created. No one knows whether hen came first or egg came first. The reason is, as I said, that this creation is Sanatan. That means whatever you are seeing today, in some form, may not be as intelligent as we are today. We were that intelligent in the past. But civilizations keep, it is a sine curve. They rise, they fall. They rise, they fall. They rise, they fall. And in the scripture when I was reading, I read a kind of aeroplane called Pushpak, which has not yet been made. And that existed in the past. Now, what I want to say from here, that we existed as we are, and there was no starting and there would be no end. The believer of these people, they think that other questions them, what religion you follow? No religion. Others religions, if you want to follow, you have to make something, some changes, some baptization, something you have to change in your body, thinking, mind, soul, to say that you are a follower of something. But anyone who is born on this earth is automatically Sanatan. It's automatically Sanatan. So, the concept that something has started and it will end is very highly mistaken. After 200 years, do you think that this humanity will not be there? These plants, animals, cows, elephants, some may disappear, but something will always remain, because this Srishti is not going to end and it has not started. And therefore, whenever you want and you try to find out the meanings of whether egg has started first or hen has come first in this universe, whatever logic we try to put in, we cannot find any answer. In many, I tell you the logics, every thought, every belief has got that there were two men, two human, somebody calls them Adam and Eve, somebody calls them Swayambhu and Satrupa. Somebody has got some other name, but every thought in this world thinks that there were two people from where the creation has started. And then I was reading this. I was reading in my part of the world, and they said Swayambhu, Manu and Satrupa, they started everything what universe has today. And then they say the second line, they were queens and kings. How can you be queens and kings without having a subjects? So those statements becomes contradictory by themselves, that if they were queens and king, then definitely on that time there was also the subject. And they must have started this modern civilization, but they have not created hen to produce egg. They have not created egg to become hen. There is another theory which is going on. It's a very scientific theory. I love science. That we came from the ocean. And we always had tails. Then suddenly this tail disappeared. And my ancestors were monkeys. And so many stories go on. You start the process today of making a fish a human being in a millions of years, it is not going to happen. And if it was true, all the monkeys could have been human beings, all the fish could have been human beings. Human is a human, and other species are there to serve the human being, and that is how the creation was always. And in this, the dimension of time was not present. It is very difficult to understand this concept, that because we have been, our mind has a limitation. Whatever is being taught to us, we start believing that. It has been so many times told to us that creation started by Satrupa Swayambhu, by Eve and Adam. And then what happens? That we start thinking and assuming the same. But if you start thinking even with a little logic and with a little brain, you will never be able to answer the simple question whether egg started first or hen started first with the kind of logic you have. You can utilize all the brains of the world, but answer cannot be found. And why answer cannot be found is because truth is different than what we think. And the truth remains that this creation is never ending. It has never started. And when I say, I think day before yesterday itself, I was discussing with a very sweet devotee of mine, very intelligent. She has answers for all the questions always. But she says, how is this possible? I mean, anything has to be created. Yes, you are right. Anything has to be created, but not the creation. Human being is born, they die. They born again, they die again. They born again and they die again. Creation takes place of the body, of this name, Guruji, of this name, Selja, of this name, whatever, you can take plenty of names. Okay, but we were always there in the subtle form. And that is how I say that this creation, this Srishti, this whatever we see today is a permanent thing. It was always there in this nature. It will always be there like this. Sometimes, as I said, that anything doesn't remain stationary in this world. You know what is stationary in this world? Everything is changing, everything is moving all around. And another devotee of mine asked me, okay, you tell me one thing which is stationary. At least one, there would be one thing which is stationary, like tree, like this. Trees are also changing. Some leaf are falling, new leaf are taking place, and that is change. So I said, yes, there is one thing which is stationary. And with lot of, because I always say that there is nothing what is stationary. And now she started thinking, oh my God, what he is going to say? What he is going to say, what is stationary now? And I told him, there is only one thing what is stationary, and that stationary is change. Change is permanent. Every moment things are changing. Every moment even creation is changing. It is becoming smaller, bigger, much bigger, again smaller. If you have seen and studied the mathematics, creation is like a sine curve. It goes from 0 to 1, 1 to 0, again to -1 and to 0, and this curve goes like this for all the time. So sometimes we are very advanced, we are very well developed, and sometimes we start living again in the Stone Age. And when we start living again in the Stone Age, we think that it has just started. But then some people find some civilization close to a river, and they call it Indus Valley civilization. Some civilization in Egypt, and they say that, okay, there was a civilization developed before this humanity took over again. Creation, destruction, this keeps happening, but it never totally ends, and it never totally starts. The kind of circumstances which are going on in this world today, we have plenty of nuclear bombs, and God prohibits. If there happens to be the Third World War sometimes, and these weapons are used, then we'll get destroyed to an extent that in the fourth war we may have to fight with the stones again. So these developments keeps taking place, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. Look, another very important thing what we must understand, that we think that we have achieved a great thing by researching something. But the word research research. It is not that it was not there. Atom was always there. Nucleus was always there. Protons were always there. Electrons were always there. The only thing, when we say that somebody has researched atom, that means that he has researched. He has found the atom once again. You try to understand the meaning of research. We start thinking that this has been newly produced as a baby by that scientist. And somehow that is also how we are being taught. And it is not real. Reality is that it was present in the universe, but we human beings were not knowing that it is present. Look, one of these days somebody said that in case Newton could have not been born, how could have apple come to earth? I said, my friend, apple was always coming to earth. It is, you see, this gravitational force in which earth was pulling the apple, it was always there. Thousands of years back, 1 million years back, 2 million years back, apples were falling. The only thing what Newton was able to find, that earth has got a force. Okay, and this force earth was always having. It is a research that we could find out that apple falls on earth because of this force. And similarly, there are claims and counterclaims. And Big Bang theory. All of us try to, and a lot of research are going on, that we be able to prove that earth or the creation has started one day. Okay, so that we be able to find the answer, what came first, egg or hen. But plenty of research also, lot of logics put together also, are not able to find the answer, because reality remains that it was always there. It is Sanatan. I don't know what word I should use for Sanatan in English. Maybe we can Google it. But Sanatan means that something which has never started and it will never end, is the meaning, and which is present at all the times. And all of us are directly related to it. That is the meaning of Sanatan, and that Sanatan word in Sanskrit is being used for creation. And that means that creation has not started, it will not end, it has always been like this in the universe for all the time before today, and will remain like this for all the time after today. So let us not have any doubts. And maybe we need to rethink of all this and reach to a fresh and a new conclusion. Okay, that creation was always like it is today. And then it would be easier for us to understand that the egg and hen story, which is being told and being asked by almost everyone among the human, doesn't prevail anything for us. And egg and hen, both the things were always present. Like us, they were also always present in the creation, and creation is Sanatana. I know today you will have plenty of questions because the topic is so confusing and it is so interesting that there would be questions and questions only, and therefore I am trying to sum up very quickly so that we can have little more time for the questions and answers today. Thank you.